Alright, we are back. So, the last time I was here, my god, was 1,000 years ago, first of all. What did I do? Let's see, we got... Oh yeah, right, I spent all my money in this cave here, right. Came in a whole bunch of times, dumped all of my rupees into this pond. The young lady inside gave me, more bombs. I have now all the bombs I can possibly carry. I'm maxed out at 50. I also went down to a... keep it in the bottle. I also went down to a cave just south of here that I'll point out here in a minute that had 300 some odd free rupees in it. It was another one of those rupee caches that I was talking about in the last session. Whoops. Hey, there was one more thing I forgot to do. I'm gonna need just a second. Get this fired up here. Hey, oh. Alright, actually I didn't even have to put on the AFK screen, but it is okay. Let's do that. There we go. Alright. Ready to rack and roll. So, there is actually a cave over here. You know what? We're gonna take the shortcut. There's actually a cave on the southern shore of Lake Hylia. Right here. That I wanted to point out, only because I've been going to all the different rupee places anyways. Making sure everybody knows where everything's at. Right here. Well, inside of here, there's a dude that gives you a whole mess of rupees, but you do need to be able to kill those Moldorms or whatever they are on the distance there. You can do that easily with the Master Sword, arrows, whatever. You just can't do it at the very, very beginning of the game. Which it doesn't really make sense to have to do it at the beginning of the game anyway. Like, there is no reason to do it at the very beginning. Dodging fireballs like a pro. Alright. Let's get straight into the Ice Temple. Gonna come back to this same cave again a couple of 100 rupees from now and turn in the rest so that I can get my... It doesn't say... Oh, it says right here. So that I can get my... I think it's 80 or 70 is the maximum for arrows. But I am now maxed out on the bombs. Like I said in the last session, I elected to take care of that all off camera, only because it just takes so long and it's tedious and it's annoying and it's a good idea implemented in a bad way in this game. These penguin dudes are... Whoa! You gotta hit them with it, though. Super weak. To the hook shot. Whoop. Really like this dungeon. It's one of the first dungeons that they really went all out on the theming for. It was this dungeon, probably the water dungeon, Dungeon 2 in the Dark World. And I feel like that's kind of it. The rest of them, like, there's hints of the theme, but there's not a whole lot to be done with it. Like, there's... I think the top one has the button in it, and the bottom one has the trap. Is that right? Damn it. That's alright. Because, like, the Skull Woods, yeah, it's supposed to be like a graveyard, and everything's, you know, dead there, and it's all haunted or whatever. And it does have that aesthetic to it, but I don't know. Like, it looks like that in the walls, and it looks like that in the enemies, but it doesn't look like that in any of the environments that, any of, like, the puzzles or anything. But, like, there's a bunch of... Damn it. I hate these little red bastards. You know what? Fuck them. There's a whole bunch of that in this dungeon, where there's, like, you have to constantly deal with the ice and sliding around on the ice, and it's a pain in the ass. But it fits the theme to the dungeon. Is that going to be close enough? Nope. You want it close enough that the smoke hits it, but not so close that the bomb itself hits it, because if the bomb hits it, it breaks from the... It switches from the bomb hit, but it also switches from the smoke. So it switches back and forth, and then it's all the same. Stalfos, an enemy in Zelda, famous for... Whoa! What is there, too much on screen? One enemy and one bomb? Stalfos is an enemy famous for, you know, being weak to bombs. I think that started here. I don't really 100% remember, though. I think we want the red one to be down. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah, I think the Stalfos whoop, that was stupid of me. I think the Stalfos being weak to bombs started in this game. I remember that there were Stalfos in Zelda 1. I don't recall if they were weak to bombs yet, though. There is one puzzle at the end of this dungeon that really threw me for a loop when I was a kid. I will point it out when we get there, but basically I thought that the solution to this puzzle was to do half of it, leave, get the item from the next dungeon, and then come back to this. I'll point out what I mean when I get there. It's actually like 2 rooms from here. This dungeon also does something neat where it's sort of reminiscent of the, it's almost kind of reminiscent of the water temple in Ocarina, in that you have to keep revisiting the same, like you have to cycle through the dungeon a couple of times, revisit the same rooms under different circumstances. Alright, this is the puzzle that I was talking about. When we go through that door in the north, there's a switch that turns the red blocks to come up and the blue blocks to go down, and it's this block that I'm pointing at that you have to push into the floor. You have to push into the hole. But doing that is actually not possible when you come back up into the room. And what I never realized as a kid is, yeah, you just have to walk around the dungeon again in a big circle in order to make that puzzle work. Whoops. I thought there were 2 keys in this room. Am I crazy? Damn anti-fairy. Kicking my ass, taking all my mana. How weird. I could swear that there were 2 keys in this room. Can't be perfect, right? Whatever, no biggie. This is also another dungeon where you actually don't have to collect all of the keys in the dungeon in order to complete the level. Got him. So going to the left there brings me back to that room with the big chest that I just walked past. But before I do that, I need the big key. Let's kill these bastards. Bombos medallion coming through in a pinch. Trigger all the dudes. Big key is up here somewhere, I think. I could choose to, like, invisible cape my way across there, but I don't care. I've got 4 fairies. I'm essentially invincible at this point. These dudes. Kill you. Trap under here. That's the same star thingy from the Thieves' Cave temple. the Thieves' Den, which was the one right before this, it transforms you into a... Oh, shit. I just helped him. I didn't mean to do that. I threw the pot at him and it knocked him out of the way of the bomb. Yeah, they turn you into the bunny rabbit. They negate the effect of the moon pearl for a short time. Which essentially, it doesn't do anything harmful to you, it just makes it so you can't attack. Now, I think what you're supposed to do here is continue through that door to the left. That brings you into that room where, like, the T-shaped room where I had to go into the different rooms to walk around the block in the center. It was the room where I was like, is the pot on the top or on the bottom, the one with the trap in it? Like, that's the room that you go into. But there's really nothing stopping you from just coming back down this way. Then we can go in here, we can grab the, now that we have the big key, we can get the treasure in the dungeon, which is the blue tunic. Which is basically a throwback to the blue ring, and then later the red ring in Zelda 1. This game does a lot of stuff that Zelda 1 did, but it does it a little bit nicer. Like, I didn't have to spend literally all of my money on an item that reduces incoming damage. And, in fact, reducing incoming damage was a much bigger deal in Zelda 1, I think. Because, you know, you didn't have as... You would have as many hearts, but you wouldn't have, like, the fairies to back you up and all that. Let's kill these guys real fast. I forgot Bombos kills them without, you know, spawning their little spawn dudes. There we go. Ow. Killed all those just because I couldn't remember if they had a key or anything that I needed. Wait for that to go away. Hey, there we go. Alright, now the blue ones are down. The red ones are up. Which means a couple of things. First of all, it means we can grab a little bit of health upstairs. We'll get that taken care of. It's another one of these, just like from the Eastern Palace. Hey, Ursangus in the chat room. Are you using an emulator? Yeah, I am. I feel really bad about using an emulator, except for in cases where I already paid Nintendo for the game. And I did a couple of times, actually. For proof. Because I don't want to be accused of theft and thievery. Right there. There she is. But yeah, emulator. It's SNES 9X version 1.52 for Windows. It runs really solid. Does a great job of, you know, not messing up or anything. I don't know what you really need out of an emulator other than it works correctly. So now we gotta go, wait, how do I, oh yeah, that's right, there's a block up there. I gotta go all the way around the dungeon again to get on the other side of those red things that were sticking up out of the ground. Oh, come on, don't hit me. Dodge and fire, nice. Come all the way around. We go in through this door. Kill that that guy, just for... The ice makes it really fun to try to walk across this. Drop right down here. Now we're back in that same room again, but we're on the other side of these red blocks. It took me years to figure out that puzzle. Because that button right there that opens this door... Nope, I am using a controller, Bear Meat. I definitely recommend a controller. I don't think I could mouse and keyboard... Well, I could mouse and keyboard this, but it definitely takes away from the experience. The item in the next dungeon that you get creates blocks. And the block that I pushed on that button, you know, is necessary because the button doesn't stay depressed. When you stand on it, the door opens, and then when you get off of it, the door shuts. This boss is interesting because it requires an item from a different dungeon. Like, that's not something that's really part of the Zelda formula anymore, is the boss in the dungeon, you use the item that you found in that dungeon to beat it, and that's kind of it, right? This uses the fire rod, which was 2 dungeons ago. The next dungeon, the boss doesn't require the item that you find, and the dungeon after that, the boss requires an item from 2 dungeons previous to this one, and one that you find out in the world. Like, it's so different from the normal Zelda thing. Yeah, it's so different from the normal Zelda thing in that it's not the thing that you found here. It required... I mean, obviously, we're in the ice dungeon, we're going to use the fire weapon. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer. But it opens the possibility that you need to do a little outside-of-the-box thinking in order to figure out the trick. How much does the... Whoops, I'm on a plant. How much does the big bomb cost? Because I think I may be able to go get the... I think I may be able to go get the better sword and the silver arrows right now. Well, except that I spent all my money. But I'll get money back. I'm gonna head to the bomb shop and find out... Whoa! Find out what the stuff costs. Damn rainbow warriors coming at me. I think if I can find another big serving of free rupees anywhere. I'm trying to think of where one might be. I'm sure there's still a few left. Well, there's a lot of enemies in the next dungeon too, so... Nope. No bomb. To be fair, this dungeon doesn't necessarily require the fire rod except for the final boss. I may try to kill the boss without using it. It requires it in that some of the enemies need to be killed in order for the door to open, as an example. And the enemy dies to the ice rod. Like, it's the ice guy that comes out of the wall and stuff like that. I am doing the wrong thing. There we go. Nope, wrong one. You can kill those guys with bombs if you time it right. I had no idea that that was true. I have learned something today. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I'll do this first. I'm somewhat of a Link to the Past nerd, LOL. Bear meat, you and me both, buddy. I love this game. There's 2 heart pieces in the swamp that I'm going to grab before I head down there, though. Oh, and that's another thing. Like, you needed to do some exploring to even get into this dungeon in the first place. Besides the fact that you had to fly, you had to have the besides the fact that you had to have the flute in order to get into the swamp in the first place, you also had to have the Ether Medallion from going up on Death Mountain after you get the Master Sword. Which there's no reason to go up onto Death Mountain until the last 2 dungeons after you get the Master Sword, except to get the Ether Medallion. So it's like this whole game, it doesn't encourage... It's hard to say that it doesn't encourage exploration, because they're always telling you, like, oh, there's a cave south of Lake Hylia, you should go visit it. And, you know, it requires exploration to beat the game, but, you know, at the same time... Never mind. Follow up on that thought after I get out of this tunnel. And I break the wall. Every damn time. Oh, I just realized, I guess I don't have to be on this side of that rock, do I? I could just come up here, and I won't have that problem. Whatever. Like, the game shows you, Dungeon 6 is right there, Dungeon 7 is up there. You know, so it implies that you should be, it implies that you should be on a linear path, but then... Do you have a secret... stash of rupees for me there, bug guy? Nope, all of the things I didn't need. It's a little more sandboxy than most of the other games from this era. Yeah, man, I think it is. I think it definitely is. Like, Zelda 1 was almost only exploration, and then you get into the dungeons, and the dungeons are ridiculous. In this, there's a lot more story to it. There's a lot more linearity to the layout of the dungeons, even though you can go out of order sometimes. But, like, it sneaks in the necessity of exploration on you. Whoop. I gotta pay attention to that eye laser dude. I always forget about him. Shot me right in the ass. Nothing through those doors that I need. I'm trying to remember the layout. This dungeon... I'm a little less familiar with this dungeon for some reason. I always get a little bit lost in the very beginning. Damn it. Ursangus, I hate this dungeon. Yeah, man, it's not my favorite dungeon. Basically, my strategy whenever I come in here is walk through a whole bunch of doors and gather up a whole bunch of keys, and then figure out where I'm supposed to go. Probably didn't have to waste a key on that door, because I don't think there's anything down here that's super exciting. Why didn't the Magic Cape make an appearance in any of the other games? It's what I want to know. Nope. I think those cracks in the wall are fake. Oh, alright, because I flipped the switch, so I can do this now. Ow, fuck. Oh yeah, and then I can come down here. Kill these bomb slug dudes. So many enemies in this game that, like, never came back. Where are the... I want to fight bomb slugs. Because the magic cape is shit? I think you're totally wrong. Makes you invisible and invulnerable? It's pretty great to me. What was in here? Is this the map room? Yeah, I didn't have to come in here. Oh, alright. I remember. I think I'm supposed to be on the other side of this room. I think I remember now. Come in here and do this. Kill these dudes. Somebody's got a key on them. Fuck. There he is. You know what? Tired of your shit. Gotcha. Is there anything down through here? I don't think there is. It's a couple of rooms and then just a dead end, right? Yeah, dead end. Just check to make sure there's nothing in the pots and... Damn it! Ugh. Alright. Compass, I think, right? Yeah, compass. And then that is the room I didn't want to go through. Okay. Alright, we're in good shape here. Ghosties, there they are. Wow, I am crazy low on magic. How'd that happen? Probably because of the magic cape. See? Maybe bear meat's not as wrong as I thought. Alright, magic key. Tell you what. I need a quick 2-second break just so I can, magic key, that cape eats your magic alive. Yeah, it sure does. But invincibility? Walking across spikes and things? I don't know. Seems like it could be worth it. Besides, you know, if you use the ice rod hammer trick real fast, you get a lot of magic back. I'll be right back in just 2 seconds. I want to grab some more water, and I want to do a quick edit break for when I put it up on YouTube.